It's an orange juice.
What's up everyone, this is OJ. The Goblin Gang are literally goblins and spear goblins that cost 3 elixir. It counters Sparky. It's very similar to Skarmy, they both cost the same but it's slightly more intimidating. The army can potentially deal more damage. There are those rare cases where you don't have any spells and it reaches your tower. The gang is more threatening because they can run a lot faster. The Zap's not able to kill Stab Goblins. The gang is slightly harder to kill than Skarmy. Stab Goblins will almost die to Zap, but they're still incredibly threatening. With the Goblin Gang's elixir cost of 3, the Tornado and Arrows are a fair exchange, and the Log is a positive elixir trade. These 3 spells are the hard counters. Although they share similar functions with the Skarmy, the Skeletons offer 1005 DPS, while the gang dishes out 402 DPS. On paper, the Skarmy is more than twice as strong, but it takes time for every skeleton to lock into position. The Goblin Gang is almost as good for taking out a tank. The Goblins do not shut down a Hog Rider, while the Skeleton Army can. Just because of the sheer numbers, they're able to obstruct the Hog's path. The gang does let the Hog strike the tower once. While the gang dies to the Hog, the Stab Goblins aren't zappable. Despite the zap, the Stab Goblins will still be able to prevent more than 1 hit off of the tower. They're just as effective for taking out Graveyard, but they're more comparable to minions in terms of reliability because they can survive the zap. And compared to Skeleton Army, they don't melt under poison instantly. On the opposite lane, a few goblins will bypass the building to chip away at the arena tower, while the other half will take out the spawner. Placing it 1 tile further, on the edge, will allow more goblins to bypass the spawner, dealing more damage to the tower, but it won't deal as much to the spawner. 1 elixir skeletons can almost entirely shut down a goblin barrel for a positive elixir trade. Only 1 goblin survives to stab the tower once. At the moment, with true red and blue issues, we don't know if left or right is optimal. Skarmy does an even better job. It completely shuts down the goblin barrel. Planting them in the back, the skeletons walk forward and deal with the front goblins. If you can react fast enough, the Goblin Gang completely shuts down the goblin barrel without being harmed at all. At full health, rushing the other lane, your opponent can't ignore them. Even with Zap, they still do a pretty good job at stopping most of the goblin barrel since the Stab Goblins don't die. When splitting the gang in the back, they will always split equally. 4 will go to the left side you planted, and 2 will stray into the other lane. This holds true for the entire middle lane, from top to bottom. They will always split 4 and 2 no matter where you split them in the center, as long as both towers are alive. As a group, they're fairly strong, dishing out over 400 damage per second. They can counter the battle ram for a positive elixir trade. It's strong enough to take out barbarians as well, since the Stab Goblins can survive 1 swing from the barbarians. Against units that don't have splash damage, like a Mini P.E.K.K.A and Electro Wizard, it can defend against them pretty well. They can take out elite barbarians, but it'll be very close. If you mess up, a barbarian will slip and hit your tower. Just like Skeleton Army, this is a high risk, high reward counter because it's very vulnerable to zap and log. Since this is the first card in the game that spawns both melee and ranged units at once, it's pretty decent at countering splash units like a Valkyrie. She has to spin 3 times, but if done right, she'll have to spin 4 times. Despite the Stab Goblins not being able to shoot down air units, they actually do a pretty decent job at taking a minion horde for the Spear Goblins to take them out for a positive elixir trade. If you don't split the gang, an air splash unit like the Baby Dragon stands no chance against the gang. The Stab Goblins tank 3 shots, while the Spear Goblins just chip away. Ground splash units destroy the gang. They line up perfectly for the Executioner to take it out if you try to counter him directly from the front. To prevent the Executioner from reaching your tower, you've gotta surround him. Ever since the balance update, his returning axe doesn't completely hit everything around him anymore. But once the March update rolls out and fixes this, expect surrounding him to be about as effective as surrounding a bowler. Against Triple Musketeers, they're going to get plowed down really fast. They're basically machine guns. Even against 2 Musketeers, they don't exactly do a good job at countering them without the help of Zap or the Log. The rest of the videos will be basic interactions. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more quality OJ. Come join us on Ban where you can interact with other Clash Royale players, submit decks, pictures, or talk strategy. We give away $100 worth of gift cards every month.